The Nightbeat starts right now.
And we begin tonight with the latest in the standoff between Texas Democrats and Republicans over voting bills. Today, State Representative Philip Cortez from San Antonio returned to join his fellow Democrats in our nation's capital.
Cortez was among the initial group which broke quorum, flying to D.C. in an effort to block proposed voting legislation here in Texas. Cortez had returned to Austin recently to resume discussions, but decided to rejoin his colleagues after he says progress had reached a standstill.
In a statement, Cortez said, in part, I stand firm in my resolve to remain with the Democratic caucus until the special session ends and to do whatever it takes to fight for freedom to vote for all Texans. The Democrats who remained in D.C. say they're happy to have Cortez back. A statement from Texas House Democratic Caucus Chair Chris Turner reads, we welcome Representative Phil Cortez, who is a valued member of our caucus, back to Washington, D.C. with open arms. All 57 Democrats breaking quorum are just as firm in our commitment to seeing this through until the end as we were the day we left. You can read the full statements and catch up on the latest on the Texas Legislature's special session right now at KSAT.com.
And new tonight, a would-be burglar is in the hospital following a burglary fail at an electric store on the south side. It happened just after 8 tonight on Zapata Street, not far from South Presa Street and I-37. Police say the store owner showed up and fired 2 warning shots. As the suspect ran, police say he jumped off a fence and broke his leg. He was taken to the hospital. Police say he'll be charged with attempted burglary.
$5,000. That's how much one man is willing to pay to keep the memory of his former classmate alive.
That's right. That classmate was 7-year-old Jennifer Sue Delgado, an elementary student who was stabbed to death in 1988 at a West Side laundromat. The man behind this effort says he wants everyone to remember Jennifer's story.
The killer still has not been caught, and people are forgetting about this case. And I wanted to do something more permanent.
42-year-old Christopher Palmer was the classmate of this little 7-year-old girl you see here. Her name, Jennifer Sue Delgado.
A sweet, young, good student. This one particular dress she used to wear, it was red, had all these little flowers on it. To me, that's Jennifer.
Palmer was only 8 when he learned that his Westwood Terrace elementary friend was stabbed to death June 6, 1988. San Antonio police say the man you see sketched here went into a laundromat at the corner of West Rock and West Oak Road, where Jennifer and her mother were washing clothes. A quote from this decades-old case says in part, after becoming angry with the vending machine, the suspect went to Jennifer Delgado and stabbed her once in the abdomen. He then stabbed Jennifer's mother before fleeing. End quote. Her mother survived. Jennifer did not.
I knew I was sad that she was gone, but as an adult, you get older and I guess you think about life is limited, life is precious.
Palmer says as a man and as a father, Jennifer's case has weighed heavily on his heart.
I started to think about Jennifer and thinking of the things that she never had the chance to do.
20 years ago, he gathered several classmates together for a vigil at the location where Jennifer was killed, which is now a credit union. Now he's going a step further, raising money to designate a portion of West Rock as Jennifer Sue Delgado Memorial Way.
I would just hope that it would, touch their hearts to ensure that this little girl is never forgotten.
Palmer says that he is working with District 6 Councilwoman Melissa Haverda to hopefully bring this project to fruition if he can acquire enough funds. Again, Jennifer's case is still unsolved. However, if you have any information that can be useful, you're urged to call SAPD's Cold Case Tip Line at 210-207-7401.
Other top stories today, San Antonio fire crews say a far west side snack shop is going to need some serious repairs after flames ripped through the business's attic this afternoon. Incident happened at the Tropic Express shop off Culebra Road. Fire officials say 3 employees who were inside cooking say they smelled smoke. Shortly after fire crews arrived, firefighters looked into the attic and saw that it was fully engulfed. We're told the roof and kitchen sustained significant damage, but the building is not a total loss.
No arrests to report yet after police say a man was shot in the head on the southwest side overnight. It happened around 4 a.m. Officers say the 35-year-old man was dropped off at the Texas Vista Medical Center with gunshot wounds. Eventually, he was then transported to University Hospital where he later died. Police believe the shooting happened around Marbach Road and West Military Drive. No word on a suspect.
Police say they're still searching for two suspects from a shooting on the southwest side. Police say a man showed up to his ex-girlfriend's apartment, followed by two other men. Officers tell us one of those men shot the first man, who was able to leave and call 911 at a Circle K off South General McMullen Drive. He was taken to the hospital. His condition unclear tonight. The ex-girlfriend was taken in for questioning. No word on any charges yet in this case.
Police are blaming street racing for causing a crash that sent 6 people to the hospital overnight. It all went down around 2 a.m. on I-35 near AT&T Center Parkway. Police say 2 cars were racing down Frontage Road, reaching speeds up to 100 miles per hour. That's when officers say a Mustang lost control, slammed into a wall divider, and rear-ended a van and truck. A family of 5 riding in that van were all taken to the hospital. The truck driver was also transported. The driver of the Mustang was not hurt, but police arrested him for suspicion of drunk driving along with his passenger.
And it was a moment his kids will surely never forget. Their father, Army Sergeant Noel Aranda, surprising them following a 9-month deployment.
That's right. That surprise happening today at SeaWorld. And as the night team's John Paul Barajas explains, it's a place that held a special meeting for the family of 5.
Please join me in welcoming home Soldier Noel Aranda.
The SeaWorld Shamu show made a big splash today when Sergeant Noel Aranda surprised his family after 10 months in the Middle East. The kids, 8, 7, and 4, all sprinted into Daddy's arms for a long overdue hug.
Welcome home, sir.
Coming to SeaWorld is an Aranda family tradition and is the last big outing they had before Dad went overseas, making it the perfect place to come together again.
My children and I have created memories here throughout their upbringing. They're familiar with Shamu. I mean, they still get surprised like it's the first time when Shamu jumps out of the water, but they're really familiar with Shamu.
This time, Sergeant Aranda stole the show from Shamu. His kids attached to his hip because their hero made it home.
I missed you. I love you too.
Dad explains one of his toughest missions, keeping the welcome home surprise a secret from his little girl.
My daughter's she's trying to chip away at when I'm coming home. So she'll throw filler questions out there to see how I react. But so she thinks I'm coming home tomorrow.
Mission accomplished, Sergeant.
Please surprise.
After some well-warranted emotions calmed down and tears of happiness were wiped away.
Oh, it's sand from the Middle East.
Or the sand. The Arandas got to enjoy the show as they've done so many times before, together as a family.
You ready? Look, over there. Whoa!
Even then, waves of emotions came roaring back.
Are you okay, baby? Yes.
I don't think any of us are okay, but we're certainly happy. And Sergeant Aranda wanted to extend a huge thank you to SeaWorld for making this welcome back surprise possible and making today a day they'll never forget. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Those just never, ever get old. Thank you for your service, sir, and welcome home. Still warm out there tonight, but a beautiful shot of downtown San Antonio. Skies are clear, temperatures still in the 80s for a lot of us after a toasty weekend. And as we look ahead to this week, we will be trading rain chances for more summertime sizzle. We'll see more high temperatures like what we saw today in San Antonio, 93. That's still a few degrees below our normal high for this time of year, which is 96. Thankfully, though, even in the week ahead with things staying toasty, we'll be staying away from record high temperatures. Those this time of year are in the triple digits. So we'll talk about temperatures this week. Very, very low rain chances in the week ahead. So a really dry end to what has been a pretty rainy July for us here in South Central Texas. And coming up throughout the hour, we'll also talk about what's going on in the tropics and also get you the latest outlook when it comes to that Saharan dust. Will that be an issue this week? I'll let you know coming up in a bit. Japhanie.
Katie, thank you. Turning to the effort to get San Antonio vaccinated, pop-up clinics across the city aim to make sure any and everyone can get a COVID-19 vaccine. But one in particular is focusing on some of the most vulnerable people in our community. The night team's Jonathan Cotto tells us how one church is helping those experiencing homelessness.
No person left behind has been the Corazon San Antonio Clinic's ongoing mission throughout the pandemic.
You excited?
The clinic's executive director says it's extremely important they continue to ensure those who are homeless are fully protected against the COVID-19 virus.
So within the unhoused population, we want to give them every chance to get vaccinated for free and easy. That's why we're providing it here at Corazon San Antonio at Travis Park Church, and tomorrow at our Corazon Day Center at Grace Lutheran Church.
Ricky Matthews says he attends the clinic regularly, but deciding whether to get the vaccine is something he battled with for the last several months. Today, he says he's made up his mind.
You got all these vets, all these people are homeless, and a lot of people are dying from it. And where I work for the Henry B. I deal with it each and every day, reading the science and all that. So it opens up my heart.
The Corazon Clinic offering the Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine. The incentive for those who receive their inoculation, a 31-day via bus pass. Anthony Kendall says he feels better now that he's received his shot.
I feel like I can move around the city and be comfortable about it and not worry about collecting the virus.
Roger says he encourages everyone to take advantage of the pop-up clinics and stresses the importance of getting the vaccine.
All the vaccines that we have available work very well to protect us from severe cases, from hospitalization.
The executive director for the Corazon San Antonio Clinic said the turnout was better than what he expected. For a complete listing of the COVID-19 vaccination pop-up clinics, you can head on over to KSAT.com. Reporting, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Federal officials are considering changing mask guidance in the face of daily case numbers skyrocketing. The latest in the fight against COVID-19 when the Nightbeat continues. As cases of coronavirus continue to surge, the White House is considering new guidance on masks.
Meanwhile, the push to get more Americans vaccinated continues, and today word from the Biden administration that the number of daily vaccinations rose to nearly 800,000 in one 24-hour period this weekend.
Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert with the latest.
As cases of coronavirus fueled by the Delta variant continue to surge, the Biden administration is considering a change in the CDC's guidance on masks for the fully vaccinated. Since mid-June, daily cases skyrocketing 314%. The highest case rates are in Arkansas, Louisiana, and Florida. New cases there topping 10,000 a day this week. Walmart announcing 2 of its Florida locations will be closed for enhanced cleaning. Arkansas's governor urging everyone to get the shot, in a tweet saying the Delta variant will not be tamed until more get vaccinated. At Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles, nearly all the COVID patients are unvaccinated, many of them telling doctors they wish they had gotten the shot.
Trust us. You don't want to be in the hospital saying, I regret not getting a vaccine. Just do it.
But a new poll shows 80% of unvaccinated Americans say they probably will not or definitely will not get the vaccine. But vaccinations appear to be picking up. The White House saying about 790,000 shots were administered over a 24-hour period this weekend, possibly the biggest 24-hour period since early July. But even for the vaccinated, there are rising concerns of breakthrough infections. In Provincetown, Massachusetts, an outbreak of at least 430 cases, almost 70% of them involving fully vaccinated people. The Board of Health there holding an emergency meeting on Sunday, city officials voting to re-implement indoor mask mandates. The administration now signaling a booster may be needed for the immunocompromised.
If there's going to be a third boost, which might likely happen, we'll be among first the vulnerable.
Early data suggests protection from the Pfizer vaccine may wane over time. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Turning to weather now, and it seemed like there's less dust today, but it was still hot.
And even if it's less dust, I'm still sneezing. Like, you should have seen me all day today, Katie. When is it going?
There was a little bit of it lingering today and into tomorrow. A little bit will linger as well. But I did notice the sky was a bit more blue today, indicating that a little bit of that haze started to filter out. But you may notice a slightly hazy look to things tomorrow. And if you're very sensitive to that dust, it may continue to irritate you just a little bit into Monday. We're not looking at another big plume of that dust moving in until the start of next weekend. So we will get a pretty good break overall this week. Shows you the high temperature at the airport, 93. Here's how things played out elsewhere this afternoon. A touch warmer elsewhere, 101 the high in Cotulla, also 101 in Del Rio, 95 the high in Rock Springs, also 95 over in Ian Gonzalez. So as we look ahead to this week, it is going to be toasty, but not too crazy for this time of year. Our temperatures will actually be pretty close to average for this time of year. I think maybe it's just starting to feel very hot because July has been good to us in terms of rainfall, also in terms of temperature. So as we look back here at the rest of the month, every blue box is a day where our high temperature was below average. We had 3 days where the temperature was spot on average, and just 1 day so far this month with an above average high temperature. And that Saturday the 3rd, right before the 4th of July, has been our hottest day so far this month with a high temperature of 95. And here in town, we haven't picked up any 100-degree days either. We don't have any of those on the planning forecast, so that's a little bit of good news. Again, our below average temperatures this month really due mainly in part to all the rain we've had. Nearly 4.5 inches of rain at the airport this month. That's 2.25 inches above average for the month, and on the year we're doing pretty well. We're above average in terms of rainfall for the year at the airport. So we're thankful for that rain, of course, but now we focus away from chances of rain to higher temperatures. So here's your week at a glance. Very, very low rain chances through the middle of the week, and mainly we're just looking at a very hot but seasonable week for us here in South Central Texas. Currently 82 in Pleasanton, also 82 at the airport, still in the low 90s off to the west. That's been pretty common here the past several nights for you. Del Rio still at 93. 82 in Rock Springs. Dew points, especially along and west of 35, fell off a little bit this afternoon. That helped a touch with the heat index, but bottom line, it is very muggy out there. We had a decent breeze this evening, but now winds are starting to fall off. They're about 5 to 10 miles per hour, even calm already in Fredericksburg, and they'll really settle down to right about 2 to 5 miles per hour overnight. So it is going to be another kind of soupy, stuffy morning tomorrow with high humidity, light winds, and temperatures generally starting off in the low to mid 70s, right around 74 here in San Antonio. Brief coverage of some low morning clouds and then mostly sunny again tomorrow afternoon. So it'll be hot again tomorrow afternoon, right around 95 here in San Antonio, and some more triple digits expected off to the south and west of Bexar County in San Antonio. Winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine, but you may notice a few more high thin cirrus clouds filtering in tomorrow, and they'll be with us for a few days this week. So let's talk about those very, very low chances of rain. What we've got going on here, the big time heat high is centered still off well to our north and to our west. So as we're on the southern edge of that, we're going to have a few really, really weak pieces of rain making energy. These blobs of orange here pass overhead. They're not going to do much for us, but they are going to introduce just a low chance of a stray shower as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. After that, the heat high is really going to assert itself farther south, and that's going to essentially cut off any chance of rain as we get into next weekend, and we could start to see our temperatures creep closer to that triple-digit mark. Maybe not this coming weekend, but as we get into the next week, we'll keep you updated there. In the meantime, mainly just toasty in the week ahead with highs mid to upper 90s, guys.
Katie, you're going to make me get one of those neck fan things to keep cool.
That sounds great.
I'm telling you, girl.
Good idea.
Thanks very much. And coming up, Team USA with its first gold after failing to medal on day 1 of the Tokyo Olympics. We have highlights from day 2 coming at you at 10:30, right after a preview of Instant Replay with our Greg Simmons live from California. That's next. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones goes one-on-one with KSAT 12 Sports for the first time in 2 years. With more on what's on Instant Replay tonight, we take you live to California, and that's where we find our Greg Simmons. Greg?
Thanks a lot, Samuel. Welcome to the weekends here. Welcome to everybody here to the Cowboys training camp. 3-time Super Bowl champion and Hall of Famer Troy Aikman visits the Cowboys training camp here in California. Coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay, live from California and Texas.
The NFL missed camps last year, but boy, did they miss the one the Dallas Cowboys have.
He is the owner, the president, and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys tonight. Jerry Jones is on Instant Replay. He covers a number of topics, from if he has any concerns about his star quarterback Dak Prescott following his season-ending ankle injury, will Zeke bounce back from his worst season, and why he's been so emotional the Cowboys' return to Oxnard.
Just every time I see him each year, I just think he continues to get better and better, and I know that there's a lot of concern about the ankle and how he's doing there.
Look who dropped in for a visit to Cowboys training camp today. Three-time Super Bowl champion Troy Aikman, who gives us his opinion on if Dak's ankle will hold up to the duress of the regular season and why acting as Jimmy Johnson's presenter at the Hall of Fame is a bigger honor than his old gold jacket.
This is the first time I've been on the stage, so you always want to make an impression, but you never want to lose the first game.
And what happens now after Team USA lost their opening round game against France to tip off their appearance in the 2020 Summer Games in Tokyo? All that plus, do you think it's a good idea for Texas and OU to lead the Big 12 and join the SEC tonight? You decide. Instant Replay is live from California and Texas, coming up a little bit later on.
Day 2 of the Tokyo Olympics and Team USA finally reaching that medal podium.
Plus, Japan's Naomi Osaka dominating in her first match, back on the world stage after withdrawing from the French Open to focus on her mental health.
Here's ABC's James Longman tonight from Tokyo.
Tonight, an unsettled start for Team USA at the strangest of summer games. For the first time since 1972, the US did not medal on day 1. And on day 2, women's gymnastics losing some of their invincible aura, finishing second in the qualifying round. Simone Biles and Sunisa Lee finishing in first and second place. They now advance to compete in the all-round finals. Despite some stumbles, Biles has advanced to all finals and the chance to win 6 golds. USA Swimming raking in the medals. Simone Manuel and the US 4x100 freestyle relay team taking bronze. But it was Chase Kalish taking home Team USA's first gold in the 400 individual medley.
If I could hope anything comes from that, is that it motivates the rest of my teammates.
Kalish with an embrace for his teammate Jay Liverland, who took silver on the podium, with the International Olympic Committee with a reminder: no hugging and masks on, even for winners. Inside the Olympic bubble, 137 people have tested positive for COVID. At least 16 are athletes. Star US golfer Bryson DeChambeau testing positive before leaving Tokyo, knocking him out of the competition. And today, perhaps the biggest upset, Team USA basketball losing to France, ending their 25-game Olympic winning streak going back to the 2004 games in Athens. Drew Holiday leading the team just days after winning the NBA championship with the Milwaukee Bucks.
We're smart players, great character, and we'll figure it out these next 2.
The team still has a chance. They'll have to win games against Iran and the Czech Republic to advance to the medal round. And for the first time, skateboarding and surfing seen at the Olympics. The new sports also adding more women to the Tokyo Games than ever before.
There is full gender equality across all of those new sports and new events, which really underlines our approach to providing gender equality.
And US fencer Lee Kiefer making history.
Kiefer needs one touch for a gold medal.
Becoming the first American ever to win an Olympic medal in individual foil.
It's such an incredible feeling. I wish I could chop it up in little pieces and distribute it to everyone I love.
This is one of the hottest Olympics in history. It is over 90 degrees most days, over 80% humidity. One athlete actually lost consciousness because of it, and there is a tropical storm on the way. Some events have had to be rescheduled. James Longman, ABC News in Tokyo.
Pope Francis speaking today about the Tokyo Olympics, saying the Games are a sign of hope in the time of the pandemic. The Pope blessed the organizers, athletes, and those involved in the 2020 Olympics during his Sunday blessing. In part, he called them a sign of universal brotherhood in the name of healthy competition.
Making headlines around America this evening, fire officials in California say the state's largest wildfire, the Dixie Fire, has now burned multiple buildings and is threatening thousands more as the battle stretches into its 12th day. Not helping things, low moisture and limited access to the remote area where some 5,000 firefighters are doing battle. Currently, the Dixie Fire has surpassed 190,000 acres in size and was only 21% contained as of this morning. Flames have destroyed at least 16 structures and more than 10,000 are being threatened. Numerous evacuation orders are now in place for surrounding counties.
More than 130,000 people in Michigan are without power following a series of severe storms and possible tornadoes. A suspected tornado tore through Armada, about 40 miles northeast of Detroit last night. The storm caused major damage to homes, businesses, trees, and power lines. Authorities say some people were partially trapped in their homes, but police and fire personnel were able to get them to safety. Emergency crews are directing people away from the town as they clean up. Despite all of the widespread damage, officials say no one was hurt.
As many as 8 cars were involved in a major pileup which shut down part of a freeway in Chicago today. 6 people were taken to hospitals there, while another 6 motorists who were injured refused transport. 4 vehicles ended up in a ditch and had to be removed by wreckers. Illinois State Police are investigating the cause.
Severe flooding making up our headlines around the world today. West India continues to experience devastating floods and landslides, in particular the state of Maharashtra. As of today, at least 149 people have died there, while 64 others are missing. On top of that, nearly 230,000 people have been evacuated from the 8 affected districts of the state's coastal areas. Around 400 personnel of the National Disaster Response Force were airlifted by an Indian Air Force aircraft, along with 40 tons of rescue equipment.
At least 1 person has died and thousands more are displaced amid heavy flooding in the Philippines. CNN Philippines reported a 39-year-old woman died as a result of a fallen tree amid drenching monsoon rains on Friday. Nearly 25,000 people have been displaced and around 23,000 of them are being sheltered in evacuation shelters. 175 neighborhoods have been flooded. Monsoon rains were intensified by the presence of Typhoon Infa as it passed through the area on Friday night.
Violent storms also striking areas of Belgium yesterday, just some 10 days after flooding devastated Belgium's Wallonia region and parts of Germany. Some 30 cars were carried away by the water and a train station was left flooded. In the city of Namur, there were mudslides due to the heavy rains and a nursing home had to be partially evacuated. No casualties have been reported.
Very sad scenes there. Taking a look outside with live cam. Obviously a rain-free weekend for us. Plenty toasty, and that trend will continue this week. But across certain parts of the country, especially off to the west, there the weather was a bit more active this weekend, from places like Colorado, south of Denver, even some severe weather in the Texas Panhandle, all the way over through New Mexico, Arizona, southern Nevada, and southern California. Plenty of rain this weekend, prompting a flash flood watch, meaning flash flooding will be possible in these places from west of LA over to near Las Vegas, across a good portion of Arizona, due to some monsoon rains that have been affecting parts of the desert Southwest. So some heavy flooding rain will be possible across that part of the country. Here at home, not so much. Another look at our forecast for the week ahead coming up in a bit, guys.
And dramatic video showing a rescue of a mother and child. Bystanders saying what they witnessed was a miracle. That story after the break.
Check this out. You have to see it to believe it. The quick actions of 2 heroic police officers and several passerbys, an out-of-control car plowing into a mother and baby, rescuers jumping into action.
The mother and child seriously hurt but expected to survive. Here's ABC's Trevor Ault in a warning. Some of these images may be disturbing.
Tonight, a heroic rescue caught on video. A pair of New York police officers lifting a car to save a baby trapped underneath.
Somebody's got to pull the baby. Just got to pull them out.
Yonkers police investigating the incident, now examining this surveillance video from Friday morning, showing that out-of-control vehicle slamming into a mother carrying her 8-month-old child.
We got a baby under the vehicle. Let's lift it up.
Officers Rocco Fusco and Paul Samayedny springing into action from a shop nearby.
Come on, kid. Come on.
After pulling the mother from the wreckage seen here in green, Officer Fusco joining bystanders to lift the car, Officer Samayedny freeing the baby.
I got it. I got the baby.
It was almost like slow motion.
Police say the mother has a compound fracture in one of her legs and her baby has a fractured skull, but both are expected to survive.
It's honestly a miracle that both of them survived. Very strong mom and an even stronger little infant.
And just a reminder, the capital murder trial of Otis McCain is set to resume tomorrow morning. On Friday, the state rested its case, and now it's time for the defense to make its case. We're expecting further witness testimony tomorrow, and you can follow along and catch up with the story so far at KSAT.com or on our KSAT TV app, available wherever you stream.
Has the pandemic life harmed our eye health? Staring at all those screens could have left a lasting impact. We'll explain next on the Nightbeat. From working from home, schooling from home, and all of those Zoom meetings, we've spent a lot of time in front of different screens. Now eye doctors say that can take a toll on our eye health. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz on the importance of getting an eye exam now so problems don't get worse later.
Since the start of the pandemic, adults have spent on average more than 13 hours a day staring at some type of tech screen, and that can be tough on your eyes.
Spending too many hours staring at a screen can cause dry and irritated eyes and also eye fatigue. This occurs because you tend to blink less while staring at the blue light from a screen, and the movement of the screen makes your eyes work harder to focus.
Eye doctors say an exam can help detect these and other eye problems early when they're most treatable. An exam can detect not only vision issues, but cataracts, glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, and age-related macular degeneration that could cause vision loss.
During a routine eye exam, your doctor will ask about your vision and general health, but also will test your vision and check your prescription.
They'll also examine the optic nerve and retina after dilating your eyes with drops. Even ordinary vision impairment may be linked to poorer memory and a greater risk of depression. Another reason not to neglect your eye health. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Heading over to weather. Samuel, Katie, check this out. I just looked it up on Amazon Prime, the neck fan. Low is $13.95.
Oh.
We can get one of those. We need to get with our HR and our boss to see if they can get us hook us up with some neck fans.
You're making requests on air, I see.
Oh, yeah. Wink.
Good old Amazon.
Right.
Coming through. That wouldn't be a bad idea if you've got to spend a lot of time outdoors. For your occupation, hey, that'd be great to have there. Just take a little break, sit in the shade, get that neck fan going. We're going to talk about our heat this week, but I want to start off with updating on what's going on in the tropics. Overall, in the Atlantic Basin, things are pretty quiet, but there is a disturbance that's hugging the east coast of Florida, really Florida and Georgia. And this is a very unorganized area of shower and thunderstorm activity that the National Hurricane Center gives a 40% chance of becoming at least a tropical depression within the next 2 to 5 days. If it even lasts another 5 days. Indications are that all this moisture could affect places like Jacksonville and then the coast of Georgia there, potentially up into parts of South Carolina, the Charleston area as we get into early this week. So no concerns for us here locally. And things have been pretty quiet across the Atlantic Basin as far as the tropics go. A big reason for that is because of the plumes of Saharan dust that have been moving all the way across the Atlantic Ocean through the Caribbean and yes, even closer to us here in the Gulf of Mexico. This dust actually inhibits tropical development, so that's a big reason why things have been pretty quiet here out in the Atlantic for the past several weeks. So I want to give you an update on the Saharan dust. We did have a plume move in Friday, a little bit of lingering dust yesterday and today, but I noticed a lot more blue to our sky today as I was looking at our live cam shots through the afternoon. Nonetheless, still a little teeny tiny bit hazy. As we get into the next couple of days, there will be a little bit of this light dust, so nothing too dense that will really have a big effect on air quality, but some lingering light Saharan dust will mainly be possible tomorrow, and then we're really looking good for the rest of the week. This is running all the way through Friday. Now Saturday, so a good 6 days from now, we could see yet another plume trying to move in. But overall, things are looking pretty good as far as the dust is concerned this week. On that note, I want to mention briefly our other problem allergen lately. That has been mold with the rains. We've had a few mold spikes over the past week. Today, mold is moderate. It's been steadily falling over the past few days, and with minimal rain chances in the forecast this week, I don't expect we'll have too many issues with mold either. It's likely going to continue to fall into tomorrow and then for the next couple of days. So good news on both the Saharan dust and the mold front. And again, reason why we'll likely not have issues with mold is because our rainfall potential over the next week is essentially zero. A couple little blips here of the lowest possible precipitation potential, and I think that's even being a little bit generous. We're really going to start to settle into a much less active weather pattern for us here, and that really did begin this weekend. So here's what we've got going on. Rain-making energy, these are the pieces of red and orange that you see across the U.S. here. The big heat high is off well to our north and to our west. Through the course of this week, it's going to gradually start to move closer to the center part of the country. So as we find ourselves on the southern tier of this heat high, that's going to allow for just a few little weak pieces of rain-making energy to pass us by. We're not going to have a ton of moisture to work with, so it's just not a good combination to get good chances of rain going. So that's why on the southern tier of this heat high this week, we're going to carry minimal rain chances, and these have even gone down from where they were over the past couple of days. Likely just some stray showers through the middle part of the week, with most of us missing out. I did want to show you what this looks like on Futurecast. We're going to go ahead and jump ahead to Tuesday when those very low rain chances kick in. Again, rainfall coverage is going to be minimal. As we get into the middle of the week, I think this model is being a little too generous with the rain, but again, you get the idea. Most areas missing out on any rain, but some stray showers not out of the question. Most of us, though, will just be toasty, and that will continue into tomorrow with a high around 95 under mostly sunny skies. So we'll carry highs mid to upper 90s all the way through the start of next weekend. If you're looking for a little silver lining here, no triple digits on the board just yet, guys.
But still toasty indeed, Katie. Thank you.
And coming up next, M. Night Shyamalan scares up a big debut, but was it enough to beat out a G.I. Joe favorite for the top spot? Your weekend box office report is next.
$4.6 million gave F9 The Fast Saga fifth place and a domestic total of $163 million. Space Jam: A New Legacy fell to fourth with $9.6 million, nearly a 70% drop from its debut weekend. Black Widow crossed the 150 million mark in domestic ticket sales with a third-place weekend worth $11.6 million.
Every warrior has a beginning.
Snake Eyes opened in second place with $13.4 million, slightly below expectations.
I have to get him off his feet.
Kara, don't climb that. Come down!
Old is the new champ. The M. Night Shyamalan film earned $16.5 million, making it his seventh movie to debut #1. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Deshaun Watson surprises everyone by reporting to Houston Texans training camp.
And what happened to Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy during his daily briefing that has never happened before. Let's find out what else is on Instant Replay tonight by heading out to California. And that's where we find our Greg Simmons.
Yeah, Jeffany, that was pretty funny today. We'll show it to you here in just a moment. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones with his first interview with us in 2 years. Coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay, live from Oxnard and San Antonio.
In my mind, Dak is that kind of player that he could easily be better 10 years from now, be more productive, winning games as opposed to right here.
We haven't been able to visit with Cowboys owner Jerry Jones in 2 years. Well, that ends tonight as the owner of America's team joins us on Instant Replay to talk to us about his investment in Dak Prescott and his long-term quarterback, the bounce-back season he sees for Ezekiel Elliott, and his emotional return to Oxnard, and the shocking news out of Houston that quarterback Deshaun Watson has reported for training camp.
This is clearly the highest amount of administrative responsibility. All right, did I get to go now?
Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy was wrapping up his daily briefing with the media today. When that happened, how did he handle it? We will show you, and we'll bring you the latest medal count for the Olympics that includes gold for the United States. All that, plus how did the United States and Mexico perform in the Gold Cup? We got it all for you coming up live from Instant Replay right here in California, coming up next.
All right, Greg, thanks very much.
Now, one thing that last year taught us is how to better utilize the space we have. Tomorrow on GMSA, we look at how to renovate your garage to give you more useful space that better fits your lifestyle. That's tomorrow on Good Morning San Antonio, starting at 4:30 a.m.
We know the news can be hard to hear at times. We wanted to end your night by telling you something good.
The Navy recently paid tribute to a 100-year-old woman, World War II veteran. Ima Black was among the first women to join the Navy during World War II, and her late husband was a Navy legend himself, Delbert D. Black, who has a destroyer named after him. Ima wanted to ride in a helicopter for her 100th, and the USS Delbert D. Black made it happen. She was piloted around in an MH-60R Seahawk and over her late husband's ship, and then taken to the Delbert D. Black, where the ship's command master chief presented her with a medallion honoring her for her service in World War II.
Oh, that's a great story. Glad she got to see that. And that's all our time for now. For all of us here at KSAT 12, thanks for watching. Be sure and tune in to GMSA for all of your latest overnight news.
That's right. An all-new instant replay starts right now.
And I could probably be anywhere in the world I want to be right now. I want to be here with our team.
It's been a while since we've been obviously in Oxnard. I want to get back out there and put in the most work I can, so I'll be ready for this year. It was just good to get back out there. You know, we got a lot to prove. It's about getting better. We can accomplish all the things that we want as long as we're on the same page.
We're back, we're coming hard, we're getting ready.
Coming at you from the front.
You know, I'm excited where we're gonna go. I'm gonna be ready.
I'm here to take what's mine.
Great to have you here, man. Great to have you here.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of Instant Replay, coming to you live from California and Texas tonight. In just a few minutes, we're going to visit with Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and a very emotional return to Oxnard after 2 years because of the COVID-19 pandemic, robbing all NFL teams of their chance to hold training camps outside of their headquarters. But first, it's time to go camping with KSAT.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
An unexpected moment in Cowboys training camp today as three-time Super Bowl champion Troy Aikman dropped in for a little visit. He was there to see owner Jerry Jones in a conversation that lasted most of practice in the training camp tower. Aikman was asked if he thought Dak Prescott's ankle will hold up this coming season.
Whether or not he has any soreness or anything like that following these workouts, I don't know. I mean, he'll have to answer that. But the hits are the hits. There's not. He knows it's whether or not it's 100% it can hold up. And like I said, I mean, he's got a lot in there. He's got some steel rods and a plate and everything else. So he may break his leg, but it won't be where the break was last year.
We all remember when former Cowboys coach Jimmy Johnson was told he was going into the Hall of Fame. The tears shed by his quarterback as he watched from the broadcast booth. The two paired to win two of the Cowboys' 3 Super Bowl titles in the 90s, and now Aikman will present Johnson in the Hall of Fame ceremonies just days away in Canton.
It means everything. I mean, I've said it that it's the greatest honor I could have received is for someone to ask you to present them in the Hall of Fame, and it's a bigger honor. I don't take lightly me going into the Hall of Fame, but it's a bigger honor to me personally than even when I went in, because that person can choose anybody he wants, and so it meant a lot.
Great first season for the Cowboys. One of the bright spots on defense had disappointed. In his rookie season, Diggs came up with 3 interceptions and is hoping for more this season. During the third public practice today, Diggs demonstrated his skills again. After Reggie Davis caught this ball and was turning it into extra yards, Diggs decided it was time to show how he can create turnovers, forcing the fumble.
I got my hands on 14 balls. I ended up with not 14 interceptions, so that's a problem. I dropped a lot. I dropped a lot of them, and if I could get my hands on it, I could catch it. I feel like all of them could have been interception opportunities. But this year I'm focused on making all those opportunities count. Anytime I touch the ball, I want an interception. So coming out here, just practicing it and just keep going.
We are always looking for something different when it comes to training camp, and we found one item today. Cowboys head coach was winding up his daily briefing with the media when he was interrupted by a loud blast of music for the fans who had arrived for this weekend's practice. Watch to see what happens to Mike McCarthy.
Today's NFL with the pandemic and the COVID protocols, all those things. So this is clearly the highest amount of administrative responsibility. All right. Did I get to go now? All right. So, there you go. You saw that, didn't you? Yeah. But, all right. All right. I think we're done, right? Thank you.
How many people get to be played off the podium by Michael Jackson? The only thing missing today was, of course, the moonwalk. So tomorrow's a player's day off. They resume their practice in the afternoon on Tuesday. Those are all San Antonio times. Quarterback Deshaun Watson has shocked everyone, has reported to the Houston Texans training camp. He made it in today, but it's not because he wants to play for the Texans. It's to avoid a $50,000 a day fine. Watson is still facing 22 civil lawsuits from women who claim sexual assault and misconduct during massages, and he's still under investigation by the NFL, and he's still demanding to be treated. But with the civil lawsuits and the league investigation unresolved right now, that will be very difficult at best to try and pull off. Here's tonight's instant replay poll question. Do you think it's a good idea for both Texas and Oklahoma to leave the Big 12 for the SEC? Yes or no? Vote right now. We'll have the results a little bit later on in the broadcast tonight. We are just getting started in this edition of Instant Replay, live from California and Texas. Up next.
The point is that Cowboys go to California to do our camp. The times that I have not said that and didn't want to say it was when we did it in San Antonio.
Right. It has been 2 years since Cowboys owner Jerry Jones sat down with KSAT 12 Sports on Instant Replay to give us about the upcoming season. He covers a number of topics tonight, including Dak, Zeke, also the offensive line, and why he blames himself for his breakup with Jimmy Johnson before the former Cowboys coach goes into the Hall of Fame. And what about this being the most emotional camp he's ever had? Jerry Jones reveals all. Plus, Larry Ramirez is live back in San Antonio to give you an update. The latest on the Tokyo Olympics, including the opening game lost by Coach Pop and Team USA, and highlights from the U.S. and Mexico games in the Gold Cup tournament when Instant Replay continues live here in Oxnard and San Antonio next.